Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 1 of Fighting for a 5, where each episode will be dedicated to solving one of the problems from the document. Of course, brought to you by Couch Potato Brand Snacks. Try one of our 4 fine fake flavors: above peanut, above coconut, above pretzel, or above umami. Like and subscribe in order for a chance to win an edible keychain. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this problem. So this is the first problem from the document. As you can see, it's 2003 AP Stat Form B, problem number 2. And it's a probability problem. And it deals with a sample of data. As they tell you, simple random sample. And they just ask a series of questions based on this information. So one important thing to note when you're solving these problems is to use proper notation. Label your answers. Numbers is not just writing a number, writing the answer. That's not a complete answer. So that's one major thing I'd like you to take note of. So let's get into it. Part A, what is the probability that a person chosen at random from those in this sample will be 31 to 45 in age? So what I want you to notice is the population that this question is referring to is those in this sample. So it's every single person in this population, or sorry, in this sample. What is the probability that they're in the 31 to 45 age category? So that's a pretty simple, straightforward problem, and I'm gonna solve it by writing the proper notation. So big P, 31 to 45, and now I just take a look at my information. Here's the 31 to 45 age category. Those people do have various annual incomes, but overall there were 89 of the people in this sample were in that category. So our probability will be 89 over 207. And there you have it. Notice the, I guess the variable notation that I used here is it's pretty explicit. It's obvious what this represents. If you used something like A, if you wrote probability of A, then you'd have to define A. So it's up to you. What I recommend is just with a problem like this, just use a description or use notation that makes it obvious what the event is that you're referring to. All right, fair enough, simple, straightforward. What is the probability that a person chosen at random from those in this sample whose incomes are over $50,000 will be in the 31 to 45 age category? Show your work. Okay, so now reading through this question, notice that they're not referring to the entire sample. They're referring to choosing someone at random from those in this sample whose incomes are over 50,000. So immediately, we have to draw our attention to only those people whose incomes are over 50,000. So there's only 96 of them. So that is a conditional probability. Okay, the condition, which is the notation that comes after this vertical line, is we have to have income over 50,000. Well, what is it that we're looking for? We're looking for the people in that category that will be in the 31 to 45 age category. So we're looking for people who earn over $50,000 who will be in the 31 to 45 age category. So we want to say the probability of 31 to 45 given you make above 50K. All right, well, this means we need to find the probability of 31 to 45 and above 50K. And then we have to divide by the probability of 50K. So let's take a look. 31 to 45 and 50K, that probability is 35 over 207. And the probability of 50K is 96 over 207. And this, as you can see, simplifies to 35 over 96, which I think many of you just jumped straight to, and that's totally fine. So you just took, let me use the highlighter. So many of you just went ahead and just took this number and divided by this number, and that's actually totally fine. As long as you have notation and this, then your answer will be correct. You'll get full credit. All right, part C. This is the main one I wanted to talk about. A lot of you are aware that when we're checking for independence in a situation like that, there are two ways of doing this. You can check to see, is it true that the probability of A and B is equal to probability of A times probability of B? All right, so that's one way of doing it in general. Another way of checking for independence among categorical variables is to ask the question, is it true that the probability of B given A is equal to the probability of B? This is a second question you might ask, and you can use either one of these in general. However, this question specifically says to based on your answers in parts A and B. So you are required, in order to get full credit, you are required to use the information from parts A and B to answer this question. All right, so notice that part A has a marginal probability, part B has a conditional probability. So it looks like we're kind of being forced into using this method. So the question we will ask is the probability of 31 to 45 given 50K, is that equal to, so I put a question mark here. I'm not saying it is equal to yet, I'm asking, is it equal to the probability of 31 to 45? Well, using our results, part B says that the left probability is 35 over 96, and that indeed is not equal to the probability from part A, which is 89 over 207. Okay. And so we would go on to say, since these probabilities are not equal, there's evidence that age and income are not independent. Right, and there you have it. The key there again, though, is just making sure that you're giving them what they want. They want you to answer this question based on your answers to part A and B. And unfortunately, if you read the scoring guidelines, if you don't do that, you don't get full credit, even though it's a problem you might know how to solve. And they do this all the time. So please make sure you're reading carefully and giving them what they are asking for. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, hope this helps. I'll see you tomorrow with another video. Please like and subscribe for a chance at a Couch Potato brand edible keychain. All right, take care.